Hey, my friends, Kim Gorski here. I'm going to teach you, share with you, get excited with you about time management. I know, I have to bring the energy because I don't think anyone's like, yes, let's click on this. And I'm super excited about time management. But I will say this, once you get your time down, like the structure, and not to be confused with strict, because I think when we look at time management, like, oh, we're so strict, we're binded by this. No, it actually has, it gives you more freedom because then you start to look at your schedule and say, okay, I can actually get these things done and no one's disturbing me at this time. So these are the ways I'm going to show you on where you can create more time in a time block, and create more time with these tools. But I will say this. Whenever I've taken a time management course or whenever I've been teaching about it, there is so much power in the fact that take everything with a grain of salt in the sense that, is this the way you're going to do it 100%? Maybe, maybe not. Because what I share with you is works for my brain, but may not 100% work for your brain. But I've learned these a lot from Stephen Covey. You know, he works with a ton with time management. I've learned a lot of productivity from Craig Ballantyne from the Perfect Day Formula. I know some of you have read that book. So there's ways of doing this, but also I want to keep in mind that you're going to find your secret sauce, that you feel like you are a productive machine. So let's start here first. Why be productive? Why does that even matter to you? Because I can give you all these tools and resources and really cool ways to make your Google Calendar just like light you up. But if you don't really understand why you're doing it, it's going to be very hard. So I'm going to share my why with you and help you with a little bit of a framework. So get a pen and paper out, or write this down on your notepad if you're by your computer. Whatever this is for you, whatever works for you, because I think it's always the biggest thing is that we all need autonomy. We need the choice with this, because when we have the choice, we will actually do it, opposed to me saying, this is how you have to do it, this is what it should be. Because when we go from that should mindset, it really doesn't serve us the grand scheme of it. So why I have these calendars, why I do a brain dump, why I block out time is because I found my days completely scattered. And I'm going to share two ways on how I do this. Two ways meaning very general, and the second way very specific. So the reason why I go into my first stage that I'm going to share with you is brain dump. Brain dump can be like a to-do list. But the way that I do the to-do list and this brain dump is that everything that's in my mind, I get out. The reason why I get it out on paper is because then it frees up my mind to really release that stress. So doing a brain dump, the studies are showing that you actually, you're getting the same effects as a massage. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I would like both, but it's giving the same effect. So just even that in itself. So once you get your brain dump down, so what I do and what I'm going to do is kind of give you a visual is I go through, you guys have gone through those roles in life. So your 6 roles in life. So I actually put mine in blocks. So I've kept it pretty simple where I put my personal, so that's Kim Gorski. I put my brand and what I do with Beachbody as, Kim Kelty Gorski. It's like my business. I put what I do, within my career as marketing and consulting. And then I also put in my full-time job, with what I do with that. So I'm going to keep it super general. On that, because it's good to block it out and brain dump underneath of it. So that's specific. Now let's take a step back. You're like, all right, I don't really know my roles yet. I'm not really, I'm feeling them all over the cross. Just put a whole brain dump down. And the reason why I do that is because when we release it on the journal, or we release it on the page, we release it from our mind, and it gives us that release that we need to go do the work. Because I find with to-do lists, and I find with, having a lot on your plate, we get crippled before we even get started. So we have all this time, or we have an hour, and we're not able to get things done. So there's so much power in that. So I do that because I don't want to be crippled, the brain dump. And then another reason why I put stuff in my calendar, so I use Google Calendar. So you may use iCalendar, or you may use a tangible write-in book. Whatever that is, I highly recommend, solely because one, you're going to have appointments like calls with coaches, calls, our team calls, appointments with customers, prospects, whatever that is. It's going to be good to have it in one place. So I use Google Calendar. I'm going to share that with you. And then the third piece is going to be the time block. So time blocking, like things you do in this business. So for example, if you have an hour in this business, I would say this, chunk it up into 15 minutes. Again, recommendation, but when I first started this business, I swear to you, I only had an hour to work a day, if that some days, because I was doing a 15-hour day plus a 3-hour round trip commute. So 15 minutes. So 15 minutes on personal development, 15 minutes on, adding to your network, 15 minutes on inviting, 15 minutes on working on your challenge group, or 15 minutes working in this group right now. Whatever that is, block it out and put a timer on. And the reason why block out time, there's so much power into it. So for example, when you get on a call for our team, or you're listening to this right now, you are blocked out. No one's talking to you. But when we have it kind of airy-fairy, we're like, I don't have to invite, I don't have to do this. So it's setting up those boundaries. So if you have to talk to your husband or your significant other or your kids or your work and say like, hey, I'm in blockout time, put on airplane mode, and then boom, you're in it. Because what I find with this business is we do a lot of grazing. And so we're always working all day. So we have our day job, or we have the kids all day, and then we're kind of grazing through conversations, grazing through putting stuff with challenge groups, grazing through these trainings. No, in, out, boom, done, get back to life. Because this business is designed to be able to work it whenever, wherever, but are you really structuring it like a business? And I think that was a hard truth for myself when I first started this, because I was so excited to do it. I wanted to do it all the time. So I had to just block. Okay? So now I'm going to go show you the visuals. So the brain dump, like I said, you can get a piece of paper down and write down everything you have to do. And so if you're like, I don't know what I have to do, let's keep it as simple as this. You've learned a lot in these last couple trainings. Now, are you adding to your network? Are you using that hard chargers tracker? So that's task in itself. And then look at your day job. Because I also this is also a big thing, and what you do at home. Because we're not just helping you become great Beachbody coaches. We're helping you become like productive machines in life. Because if you can ease up areas in your life, you can also do some stuff in this business, which is pretty freaking cool. So brain dump that all down on a piece of paper. And then let's get into the Google Calendar. So I gave you guys two. Let me share screen. I gave you guys two examples. And I know this is not this week, but I wanted to give you it because I was traveling and I want to make sure that you guys are getting exactly it. So there is an in-depth day, and here is a sample day. So I want to first show you kind of, how Google Calendar. So this is Google Calendar. You can use iCalendar. I'm going to share it with you on a Google Calendar standpoint because I found a ton of power into making individual calendars. So when I first actually saw a lesson about this, it was probably about 4 years ago. And I'm like, I don't like colors. There's no way that this is happening. But then I ended up really falling in love with the power of really blocking out the time in these different colors and really different themes. So I'm going to go first in the sample day, and then I'll go, and if you're like, hey, sample day is good for me right now, I don't want to go any more in depth, cool, we'll stay there. So sample day, waking up, keeping it super simple. So you got your self-care. So you block out self-care, your workout and you time. So if it's 30 minutes on the workout, 30 minutes on the personal development, awesome, you're ready for the day. And then from 6 to 9, you're like, hey, things are crazy, me getting myself ready, the kids ready, and then I have a commute, getting kids off to school, all that kind of stuff. Block it out. Because this is where we talk about like sometimes we're like, I'm not present with my children. I'm not present with, my significant other. I'm not present in my work. Here it is. Here it is. You just did your you time to get you ready. Now go be present. You're not working on this business right now. You're not texting a client during this time frame. So if you have a commute, I'm going to give you this little tip. I'm going to give you some side tips in here. Do some audiobooks. Go to audible.com and start to make your car as your classroom. Plug into these trainings and listen to them in the car. I had a 3-hour round trip commute. I made that commute worthwhile. I also set up calls. I put in my one side of my, well, actually I have Bluetooth in my car. It just actually doesn't work right now. So that's why I'm like, I put it in one side. So the Bluetooth in your car, or put it in a headphone and call someone on your commute. And that's where you're like, oh, I'm going back and forth with conversations all the time. Hey, can I get on a 10, 15-minute conversation with you to really connect on the goals that we've been talking about? Boom, put it in the schedule for your commute. That saved me a ton in my first year in this business, because I'm like, holy crap, I got 3 hours and I'm in this car. I used it wisely. And then you got your work. So this is another thing. People are like, I have my job. I can't have this much time. Good. Stay focused. Be in that work. This individual stuff over here actually will probably help you with how to block out time in your job, to not only excel within your career, but also excel within this Beachbody business. And then you got the commute again. Again, sample day. Commute. Perfect. Again, can we make it your classroom? Can we make it a time where you're connecting with people on a customer base and a coach base? And then it's like, here, 7 to 9:30, plug into the business. Or 7 to 8, plug into the business. And so what does that look like? That can look like I said, blocking out. Maybe you do 30 minutes of adding to your network, 30 minutes of inviting. But it's blocked out. It's focused. Now I'm going to go in a little bit more in depth. Because I like to get it like uber specific, because I'm like, I'm in, I'm out. This is what's happening. So hold on one second. Just to give you an example. This isn't perfect, but it's a great example of how to do it. So I'm going to show you how to do these calendars on the side, but I wake up and I read and I stretch. I like to get my body moving. I really, really don't do workouts in the morning anymore. It's kind of crazy. I work from home, so I have a little bit of that luxury there. But I didn't for a while. Just know that I did not work from home for a while. So I do like family. I actually make my husband's lunches. So that's important to me, because that's connection time, and versus me being on my phone, having conversations. And then I'm 30 minutes here, Beachbody, conversations. Then I'm going to go do a workout. Boom, got it. Then I got some white space. So I'm going to talk about this white space for half a second. White space is super valuable to your schedule. So again, over here, I have a sample day for you. White space is really created to actually help you get back to doing better work. It's not, oh, Kim's lazy, or, Cindy, you're super lazy, don't do this. No, it's actually created to really, our brains need that space, that our brains really need to be able to release it. So then I'm going to work on, so I had something happening in the day. So this is actually cool to come back to this. Steve forgot his lunch. My husband forgot his lunch. And so I had to take it. So this is real life. So I went to do the lunch. I had to do some stuff for my day job, and off I go. I adjusted my schedule. This is not what it looked like when it first started. So I do this the night before. Let me backtrack 1 second. I do this the night before because I know that my days aren't going to be perfect. I block out my day the night before, right before the end of my day, because I think it's really valuable to really be able to do it as close to what's going on and not overbooking myself. And then I worked on some podcasts, and then I worked on some content, and then I had to leave for the day. So I had a call, and then I had to leave for the day because I was commuting to the airport. So the reason why I share this with you is because you can start to see how your day can be blocked out based on what you have to do from that brain dump. And what's really cool about that brain dump and this calendar is that you're going to see how you may be under or overbooking yourself. because we can only do so much. We can only do so much. And our brains can only shift so much. So if you can say like, all right, on Sundays, I'm going to only focus on social media content because my brain's going to be there. I can be in the content role. And then on Mondays, I'm only going to focus on having conversations. On Tuesdays, I'm only going to focus on inviting to my group. So you don't feel so scattered brain and all over the place because you have the block out time. So going over here, you're like, I want to know how to do these cool calendars. And you're going to go to my calendars on the left-hand side. You're going to create a new calendar. I'm going to do tests. If you want to put in a cool description, awesome. I don't put anything else in here. And your create calendar up on the top. So I'm going to go down to test. I already did this once before. And you can change the color. So you can go right here on the little arrow down. You can customize the color. So if you're a Canva freak like me or PicMonkey, you know that you can get the custom color, little links here. It's a little advanced. Or just go on the scheme. For people that love color, I know you're freaking out over this. So I'm just going to just check a color. And I put them all into here. So like I have work with Beachbody. I have work with business opportunities. This is getting uber specific. So again, if you're like, I can't get this specific yet, don't worry. This is someone that are like, hey, I want to get a little bit more advanced, get it super specific. I block out for my content. I block out for my coaching sessions, my family and friends time, because my friends are my family. I block up for Fitnesspreneurs Life, housework, even getting that in there, marketing calendar, because I want to plan it out, podcasting, professional development. So professional development that's helping me excel within my marketing, my sales, all that kind of stuff. The reminders, you can't get this out for some reason. This is just already in Google. Self-care / personal time. Working on a big project that I have, travel, video shooting, stuff I do for Visionary Planner, and white space. So can I go more in depth? Sure, but I like it right now. And then I start to see the color schemes of it, and it helps me like, okay, I feel now balanced. Because maybe one day I have a ton of work, but the other day I'm going to block out more for my family. So you start to see that balance, and I'm going to stop the screen share now. You start to see that balance throughout your day. Is it going to be perfect every day? No, but that's where the block out time can really give you the flexibility and say, okay, I can move this. But know that block out time is fierce. And if you find yourself not doing it, you got to go back to that why. You got to go back to why you're doing this, why productivity matters. It matters because insert yours. For me, it matters because it's leading me to more women that I can serve to help them break through bad cycles and bad habits that aren't serving them in their life and live a more fulfilling life with themselves, most importantly, and the people in their life. Guys, I hope this was of service to you. Comment below if you have any questions by tagging me at Kim Gorski, and I can't wait to see more productivity out of you. Bye.